everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own magnetic bookmarks at home. And I'm going to be walking you through how to make laminated bookmarks and how you can also get the same result using just cardstock. In this next clip that you're about to watch is going to show you how I achieved this template and how I size and design my bookmarks using canva.com. So let's go ahead and get into that clip. Where I like to go for my bookmark designs. For my template, I like to use the letterhead. It's the same size of the printer paper, so it just makes it easy for sizing and printing. And what we do next after getting our template is designing the bookmark. So the way that I do mine is I go to Elements here on the left, go on to Shapes, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to find this right here. This is what I'm looking for. So now it's just sizing your bookmark. You can make it as big or as small as you want. I'm pretty happy with that right there. I want to make it a little bit longer. Now that I have the size when it's folded in half ready and done, I'm going to click on it. Click on copy, so it makes an identical one for me. Now we want to put it up here, so we're going to rotate, and that middle line pops up, letting you know that it's aligned, and align it with your bottom. So we want to avoid this white line right here, because when we fold it in half, unless your template is a little off-white or not too bright colored like this, it won't look right. So you want to go ahead and align it. Now I want to make an identical one right next to it. So I'm going to highlight both, hit copy, and now you have the second one. And you can see where those lines come up, where they're lined up next to each other, which is great. So now I'm going to show you how you can add pictures, templates, wording. So I'm going to show you one that I have. So these are great for all family members, for gifting, for book lovers. So I'm going to make a very special bookmark. So I want to hit on frames. So I want to add a picture of my family. So you can go to frames, and what this is awesome is because you can add the picture in one of these preset frames, and that allows you for it to look a little more special. So we're going ahead and select this right here. So we want to go ahead and make sure it's inside our template. You can expand it. Go to uploads. Here you can upload any designs you'd like. So I'm going to put one of me and my son. And you can move it to where you are happy with it. And hit check mark. And that's how you can get a personalized bookmark with someone's photo in it. Another thing you can do is I have a lot of these designs that I bought off Etsy, but you can definitely Google any type of picture that you're looking for and just make sure it has a transparent background. Save it onto your desktop and then upload it on here. So we want to go ahead and do one for my daughter. So I'm going to click this Pretty Little Mermaid. And I want to change the color of these two. So you want to click on it. Click on this pink. Now we don't want to change all of them. and put it right here and align it. Now to add text, I just go on to text. You can grab any of these three. This is where you have your tools as far as your fonts. I am going to click on Playfair. I'm going to scroll down, and playlist script is one of my favorites. So I'm going to add her name to make it a little more customized. So Victoria, and you can play around with the size and insert it right there. And I love how this turned out, and this encourages your readers to keep reading. Let's go ahead and change that right here. Delete image, delete element. Now you can also find watercolor, handmade watercolor PDF downloads, picture downloads that are perfect for anyone. So we want to go ahead and make this a light color. So this light mint color. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of these beautiful watercolor that I can link down below for you if you want to check it out on Etsy. This lady does some amazing work. And what I like to do is I resize it, make sure it fits. The other thing you can check is click on one of those templates. Do you see right here? This is the cutoff line, and I don't want to go past that. So this is where I feel pretty happy. You can work with it until you feel happy. Now, if you feel like that image is too bright, you can go over here right next to range, click on the transparency, and make that a lot less visible. So let's use 72. We go to text, add heading, and you can add a quote or something where it says, we're going to be using "You fell asleep here." And we want to add this on top. And you can play around with the fonts to where you like it. And I feel like this is one of my favorites. And you can name your project here. So "You fell asleep here" and Victoria. Done. You click on download and it'll show you these options. PDF print is fine for me. Download. And here it is. You can go ahead and hit print. So now that you've watched how to design your very own bookmarks on canva.com, we are ready to get started. So I'm going to first start off with the cardstock one. And before you print it, you can decide either if you just want to do the cardstock or you want to laminate it. So we're going to go ahead and get into the non-laminated one using cardstock, and these are the supplies you're going to need. You're going to need cardstock paper to print them on. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need some magnetic tape that you can find online or at your nearest craft store. You're going to need a clip that will help you keep your bookmark steady as you cut around. And so let's get started. So when you have your bookmark printed out, it's going to be on a sheet, and the way that I like to cut it is I fold it in half. I put it against the light so I can see the shadow. If your bookmark is colored, it'll help you a lot to see the outline of your bookmark. So once I find that, I fold it in half and cut around it. And so this is what you're left with. So all I did for the inside was cut a piece of tape. So I'm going to show you. I cut the length of the bookmark on one side. And you can do it however you want. You can put 3 on going this way, but this is the way that I like to do mine, but there's no right or wrong. And then I cut the same size. And if it's just a little bit longer than that, I just go ahead and trim it. So before putting the magnet on the other side of the bookmark, I like to lay it flat against the other magnet on the bottom. I then close it and then press firmly so it adheres to the bookmark. And that's it. You have your very own magnetic bookmark that is not laminated. So let me show you how these work. And there you have it. That is your magnetic bookmark. So these are great as gifts, and especially for the book lover in your life. Next, we are going to get started on the laminated one. And what you're going to need for this one is, what do we need? For the laminated bookmarks, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some regular printer paper for you to print it on. And you're going to need some scissors, a clip to hold your project as you cut around, a file after you finish laminating to smooth down the edges of the bookmark. You're also going to need a laminating sheet to laminate your bookmarks. If you don't have a laminator at home, you can definitely have yours laminated at your nearest office supply store. And you're going to need magnets. Now these are different from the non-laminated bookmarks. These magnets are a bit stronger than the magnetic tape. I've tried to do the magnetic tape on the laminated ones and it's just not as strong and it doesn't hold. These right here I found at my craft store, and these are Nicole Crafts Great Value Flexible Magnetic Rectangles, and they do have adhesive on the back and they work great for these bookmarks. So let's get started. After you print your bookmark, you're going to have something like this. I went ahead and cut it in half already, and what I like to do is close it on this wrong side and hold it against the light, find the shadow, align it with the other side, and then fold it in half. Just like the first time. It might be a little bit harder to see on the cardstock than it is on this one, but even if it doesn't come out too straight, I still make it as straight as possible on the edges, and even if that means trimming the bookmark down just a bit. So after you have this, you want to go ahead and cut out your bookmark. And this is where the clip comes handy. You can have it on the top so it helps you hold on to your work as you cut. The way I like to cut these bookmarks is first I make a line straight down on the sides. I found out that this is the best way for me to get a straighter and smoother edge around without having those ragged edges from the scissors. And then after I have my bookmark cut like this, I then go ahead and start trimming on the bottom. And if you feel like you still just need to go back in and smooth some of those some of the edges out. Do so right before you laminate. Okay, so there you have it. That is how you cut the first. So now that you have your piece cut out, of course you can do these in multiple, so you get to have, if you do have a laminator at home, I like to do around 4, as many as they fit on the sheet. But make sure that you don't crowd your bookmarks when you're laminating. You have to allow them 1/4 of an inch at least of space around each bookmark. So, so I go ahead and place it on my sheet and laminate it. So I have one already made, and I went ahead and cut it out, and you can see how much of that space I leave. This is more of 1/2 inch, but make sure you leave some on the edges. I then do the same thing. I find the middle and fold it in half. Now with the once it's laminated, this clip definitely comes in handy. And what I have right here is just a piece of cardstock inside the clip, just so I don't have those little teeth marks on my bookmark. So I then just put it inside, and it'll help me have a steady grip while I cut, and it won't be sliding everywhere as I cut. So when you're cutting your laminated bookmarks, you want to not, you'll notice that there's like a little bubble on the edge. So you want to cut on the other side just a little bit off of that little bubble, because if you cut right on next to the bookmark, what you laminated can peel up and it'll destroy your bookmark, and we don't want that. So we're gonna go ahead and cut all around like that. So after you have your cut bookmark, it'll look something like this. And now what you want to do is grab the magnets that you have. And I'm going to grab 2 of them. And I'm only going to use one at a time. So I'm going to peel one of them, and I'm going to place it in or on the middle, as close to the middle as I can get it. And we're going to place the other magnet right on top. And the reason why I do this before I put it on the bookmark, is because I want to make sure that the magnets snap close together and it won't look pretty, it won't look funny, and you'll notice as you close it and work with it. So now that I peeled the back of the other magnet, I can then close the bookmark and then press until, just for a few seconds, just to make sure that that glue sticks to the bookmark. So after you finish putting your magnets on, you want to go ahead and grab your file. And this is just a regular nail file. You don't want something too hard or too fine. You want like a medium strength nail file. And we are just going to smooth the edges. I find the filing part very relaxing. So this will just help it have no sharp edges around your bookmark, so it doesn't hurt anybody. So that is the filing, and there you have it. You can, And I have been loving making these. I have so many made and these are great for anybody. And also you can make any type of size. These are for more for children that I made that are school age. And I think these are just the cutest little things ever. These are a little mermaid and a little princess. So yeah, I really hope that you really enjoyed this magnetic bookmark video, and I hope it inspires you to make some for yourself, for your friends and family at home. I hope to see you on my next video. Bye! Happy crafting!